What's up, Night Owl? Still here back with another video, and today we're going to be looking at Van Richten's Guide's Dark Gifts. A Dark Gift is a new character option in Van Richten's Guide, and it allows you to have your character make a deal with some sinister force in order to get power at some sort of drawback. It's not quite as dramatic as like taking a level of Warlock and making a pact, but it's on the same style. By the book, you can only have one Dark Gift, and if you make a deal for another one, you lose the previous one. And also, you can come into the game at character creation level 1 with one of these Dark Gifts. Or you can do a dark bargain you get with your DM and have a dark bargain with some other force and get one of these gifts that way. I personally like these Dark Gift options. Every once in a while when I'm running a game, I'll introduce the party to a not so good NPC that will put them on a morally ambiguous quest. And I think these Dark Gifts are a great way to sort of incorporate some sort of drawback, some risk reward style buff to the party that's not just a simple magic item or gold. The first Dark Gift is Echoing Soul. This Dark Gift involves sharing your soul with another, whether that be a soul from a past life, or you're occupying a body that's not yours, or you merged your soul into something else, or some soul from another plane is haunting you, things like that. This Echoing Soul gives you proficiency in 2 skills and a language. The drawback to this dark bargain is whenever you roll a nat 1 on an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, the memories from the soul emerge and you have to roll in the chart to determine what happens. There's 6 outcomes on this chart. They're not terrible: blind, charmed, half speed. One of them incaps you. That one's kind of rough. And if you roll a 6 on the D6, you actually have a good memory, and you get to re-roll that saving throw or attack roll or ability check. Now, the first thing that I thought of when I saw Echoing Soul is how it would interact with the Halfling Luck. And I think if you roll a nat 1 on any of those things that would trigger your Halfling Luck, the intrusive souls would go off first, and then you would re-roll the save. If you happen to get a D6 on your intrusive and you get to re-roll it again, then you would do your Halfling Luck re-roll, and then you would do your regular roll. If you did it the other way, where you roll a nat 1, then do Halfling Luck, and if you get a nat 1 again, then you do the intrusive echoes, the probability would be astronomical for that ability to ever go off. The next Dark Gift is Gathering Whispers, which involves you getting haunted by a spirit. This one can come up if your party's exploring a tomb and they open up something they're not supposed to, and a ghost decides to haunt them, or things like that. There's a few ways that you could do this one. That one would probably be the most common. This gift allows you to send those spirits to deliver messages with the message cantrip, and it also allows you to use your reaction to add your proficiency bonus to your AC in order to cause an attack to miss once per long rest. The drawbacks are similar to Echoing Soul, where if you roll a 1 on an ability check, saving throw, or an attack roll, the voices start whispering loudly and they sort of interrupt things, and you'll roll on a table. The next Dark Gift is Living Shadow. This Dark Gift causes your shadow to animate Peter Pan style. It gives you access to the Mage Hand cantrip, which you use as your shadow goes and grabs things for you. And you get Shadow Strike, which allows you to increase your reach by 10 feet on an attack roll, an amount of times equal to your proficiency per long rest. A bugbear with a reach weapon using Shadow Strike would have more range than most thrown weapons. The drawback is called Ominous Will, and this is an interesting one. If you roll a nat 1 on an ability check, saving throw, or an attack roll, your shadow will start to either hinder you or help you. The next time a creature within 30 feet of you makes an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, your shadow is either going to help or hurt them. Roll a d4. If it's odd, you're going to reduce the amount of that enemy's roll by that amount. If it's even, 2 or 4, you're going to increase that roll by that amount. This happens once per short or long rest. Next, we have the Mistwalker bargain. This bargain gives you a little bit of control over the mists of the Domains of Dread. To start with, you get Misty Step once per long rest. The next trait could be huge depending on the kind of campaign you're running. It's called Mist Traveler, and it allows you to be treated as though you have the Mist Talisman for the domain that you're on, as long as you know the name of it. And what the Mist Talisman does is allows you to not get lost in the mist. You can roll 2d6 hours and you'll reach the domain that you're trying to get to. No issues. You don't even need to have been there. You just know how to navigate the mists of any domain as long as you know the name of it. That makes this trait really good. Obviously, it depends on how much mist traveling you're going to be doing in your campaign, but Misty Step is still good on its own. The drawback is whenever you take a long rest, you poison the area for yourself within 10 miles of where you took that long rest, and you'll start gaining levels of exhaustion if you remain there. There is a buffer time in weeks equal to your constitution modifier with a minimum of 1 week. Next up, we have Second Skin. This gift gives your character another personality. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be a fractured mind. It could be a literal outsider that's trying to take over. Regardless, this gift will give you alter self, which will let you turn into your alternate form. And the drawback is that sometimes there are circumstances that will trigger your alter self whether you want to or not. And you'll have to work with your DM about when those triggers are. But there is a chart. The next dark gift is called Symbiotic Being. Now, this one could be confused with Second Skin, so let me clarify. Second Skin is more of another personality that you share with this body. Think Deadpool. Symbiotic Being is a physical creature that's trying to convince you to do things. Think Venom. Hope that helps. The first benefit of this symbiote is Entwined Existence, which gives you access to a new skill, and this is essentially your symbiote coaching you on how to do the skill. The next feature is called Sustained Symbiosis. Whenever you fail a saving throw, your symbiote will step in and spend one of your hit die to increase the amount on the die. And if you use this feature on a death save, you can get up with 1 HP regardless of what was on the D20. That's awesome. The drawback to this one is that the symbiote has an agenda and it will try to convince you to fulfill its agenda. And it may get to the point where you are charmed or it will try to take over your body completely. The next dark gift is called Touch of Death. And this one makes your physical touch harmful to living beings. And that's it. That's the drawback. Let's read the benefits. First, there's Death Touch, which lets you add a D10 necrotic damage to your unarmed strikes. Add 2. And this ability scales with level. It goes up to 2d10 at 5th, and it continues to go up. Next, you have Inescapable Death. Similar to the Death Domain Cleric, you can bypass necrotic resistance. It's not as good as the Death Domain because it's only attack rolls that do necrotic, so no Toll the Dead, but it's still okay. And finally, you have Withering Contact. If you start a turn grappling or being grappled by a creature, you can do a D10 to them, a D10 necrotic. Now, I might be misreading this trait or not giving the other traits enough credit, but this one seems incredibly powerful compared to the other ones. There's no real drawbacks to this trait, at least not mechanically specified. If you cast Cure Wounds or any kind of touch spell on a party member, do they take a D10? Like, I'm not... The specifics of this dark gift are kind of vague, and I could see a DM being like, if you shake hands with someone or if you do a touch spell, they're going to take a D10 damage or they're going to suffer the effects of your death touch. But that's not mechanically in there. All we have is benefits from this one. So yeah, let me know in the comments. Is this one just too good or am I missing something? And the last dark gift is called Watchers, and this one has you being stalked by some creature, always watching you. The first feature is called Borrowed Eyes. You could use it once per long rest and it lasts an hour. It gives you advantage on investigation and perception, and it also makes it where you can't be blinded. It's pretty good. The drawback is you have disadvantage on persuasion, deception, and performance as long as the person you're using it on can see the Watchers. You can suppress this once per long rest with an animal handling check. And that's it for the dark gifts. I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of builds people come up with some of these dark gifts. I already have a few ideas. And if you enjoyed the video, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what some of your build ideas are. And if you want to be a part of this D&D community, make sure you join the Discord. Link is in the description. Come by, ask questions, let me know what you think. And as always, I'll see you at sundown.